What's up everybody? Today I'll be making apple pie from scratch and it is super delicious. It's one of my personal favorites and pretty much everyone's favorite. Apple pie is super comforting and it's fairly simple to make. For this recipe, all you need is a few ingredients, a few tools, and you'll have amazing results. I promise you that. First up, we'll be starting with the ingredients that we'll be needing. For the dough, I have all-purpose flour, cold butter, unsalted, ice cold water, white sugar, and salt. And that's basically all the ingredients for the pie dough. For the filling, I have apples, and let's talk about apples. I'll be using Honeycrisp, but you can use also Granny Smith. That's really good for apple pie because it holds up. I have white sugar, I have some flour, salt, nutmeg, ground cinnamon, lemon juice, vanilla, and some butter, and that's all for the filling. That's all you'll be needing, apart from some tools. I have a knife, a peeler, I have a cutting board, and also you'll be needing a rolling pin, and basically that's everything, right? So for this recipe, we'll be making it step by step. First up, we'll start with the dough, then we'll move on to the filling. So now let's begin. So first up, I'll add my flour to my mixing bowl. I'll add my salt, my sugar, and I'll use my hands for this. I'll just mix it in. Next up, I'll place this right in front. I'll grab my butter, which is ice cold. Bam. So now my butter is gonna go straight in here. And again, use the hands that you have and mix this in. So you're gonna press your butter into the dough. If you have a dough cutter, that'll work perfectly as well. But you can just press this in. So after you've pressed your butter into the dough, this is what it looks like. You got nice little chunks in there. Beautiful. And it has a nice texture, almost sandy. So the next step, what I'll do is I'll add my water. Add that in. And I'll mix this through. Now I'll turn this out to my surface, like so. And I will work this together. So now after that's come together, what I'll do is I'll cut this in half and I'll refrigerate my dough. So beautiful, that's what you're looking for. So I'll refrigerate this for about 15 minutes before I start working with it again. So next up, I'll be doing the filling and I'll start with my apples. And again, the recipe for this apple pie will be in the description. So first up, my apple, I'll just slice the bottom. And this is just easier. So slice the bottom and the top, and I'll peel. So now for my apples, what I'll do is I'll slice down the middle. Slice once more. I'll stand it up. Boom. And again. So now what I'll do is I'll slice my apples about a 1/4 inch thick. And my next step is to cook these apples. So I'll place this on the side. So now to my skillet, I'll add my butter. So at this point, I'll be cooking my apples for about 5 minutes in my pan. So I'll melt my butter in my pan, and to that I'll be adding my salt, my sugar, so after my butter and sugar has melted, I'll add in my lemon juice and vanilla, my cinnamon, and nutmeg, and I'll mix that in. And now I'll add my apples in there. So now you'll mix this all together, and then you'll let it cook for about 5 minutes. So after 5 minutes, this is what it looks like. Now I'll add in my flour, and I'll mix this around. And you'll let it go for about 30 seconds so it thickens, and then you'll take it off the fire. After about 30 seconds, this is what you get. The juice from your apple pie has thickened nicely, and now you can place this in a bowl and let it come to room temperature, or place it in a refrigerator for about 15 minutes so you have a nice cool filling to work with. So now we're ready for the final step. I have my dough and it's nice and chilled. I have some flour, I have a rolling pin, and now I'm ready to roll it out. I have my pie tin and it's sprayed with some pan spray, and now I'm ready to roll it out. So now to my surface, I'll add some flour. And while I'm working with this half, I can place the other half in the refrigerator so it stays nice and chilled. So I add some little flour to the top, flour my rolling pin, and I'm gonna roll this out. So now what I'll do is I'll place my pie tin, and you can see it's covered all the way around. So I want about 1 inch coverage all the way around. That'll give me enough for any shrinkage or anything. So I'll roll this out a little bit more. So now what I'll do is I'll roll my pie dough up on my rolling pin, like so. And what I'll do now is I'll take the excess of my pie dough and I'll fold it in. So now I'll let this sit in the refrigerator for about 5 minutes so it hardens nicely. This will all help with the final result. So now for the final step, my pie dough has chilled nicely. I'll place my pie filling in there. So now with the second half, what I'll do is I'll place some flour on my surface. I'll add my dough. Add some more flour on top. Some flour to my rolling pin, and I'll roll this out. Roll this up, and now we can bring our pie across. Same technique again. I'm gonna roll this up. Boom, boom, boom. Slide my pie in, and I'll roll this over, like so. Beautiful. And now I'll tuck it on the bottom, just like I did with the excess from before. So the final step before it goes in the oven, you'll add some pockets into your pie. And I'll finish it off with some egg wash on top. So now I'll place this in a 350-degree oven for 45 minutes. So here it is, your beautiful apple pie. So you let this cool for about an hour before you cut into it. So here it is, the beautiful, simple apple pie. It is simply amazing. I promise you, you'll love this recipe. As you can see, it's super simple. It takes some skill, some time, but you'll have amazing, amazing results. Again, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Drop some comments below, and please, please share my video. Thank you.